Just a tech teacher living in a classroom world. Took a deep dive Monday, gonna learn in a furrow. Clicking through platforms, searching for that skill. Breaking down technology, giving learners a thrill. Deep dive Monday, to the feeling, tech solutions. Deep dive Monday, step by step, we're revealing.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Deep Dive Monday. Today's topic is using tech tools to support your inclusion students. I'm Debbie Pingle, and with me I have Valentin Guetta, who will be helping out answering questions in the chat. And so please do ask questions in the chat if you have those. We'll try to answer all of them before the end of the session. If you haven't registered, please do so. I also included the link to the session PD session in the chat. The number is 409-262. Then make sure you do the remote check-in. That code is PSJA Tech. And like I said, if you have questions, just ask those in the chat and we'll try to get to all those questions before the end of the session. Today we're going to look at some different tools that may help your students of all different kind of diverse learners. English language learners, students with disabilities, just varying different styles of learning. So hopefully you'll pick up something today that might help you and your students as you move along in this educational journey. This session was inspired by Janet Corder. She's a technology presenter. She presents every year at the technology conference that we attend, TCEA. It is a Texas technology conference, and her session was the same title, and I really liked what she presented, so I'm presenting a lot of the tools that she showed. Some are old, and they've been around for a long time, but they're still good, and some are maybe newer to us. And then she did include this chart from the Merrills. We were lucky enough to have the Merrills as our keynote speakers to our technology conference this past summer. And this just is a look, and we're not covering all the tools that are listed in here today, but I just thought this chart was kind of neat. If you're looking for like reading and language access tools, it's just listed here. Some of the tools you might be familiar with. If you need like student voice and expression, here are some of the different programs you can use, which we do have Canva, we have Adobe Express. There's free versions of a lot of these, like Book Creator, there's some free version. So you're welcome to try out those different tools. If you need feedback and personalization, we are going to take a look at Brisk kind of quickly today. School AI is a great, AI tool, and Magic School. Those are very helpful tools. We are going to take a look at DFIT today. Assessment and pacing, some different tools, and then visual design and access. So I liked the way they kind of laid that out. If you are having issues with a student, or not issues, but need some helps for them, this might be a chart that you can look at and see if there's some tools on there that might help you out. If you click here, that just takes you to the X account for the Merrills, and you can follow them if you'd like. They have really good ideas. One thing that we probably need help with on a regular basis maybe is leveling the text. A lot of times the text that we have is at a too high of a level for some of our students. But we don't want to water it down like too much, but we want to maybe just change it to bring it to the level where they can read it. So with DFIT.me, there is some text leveling options there, and Brisk. And really, you can go to any AI tool and probably find some text leveling. You could just go to ChatGPT, which we now have for teachers, and ask it to bring your article down to a different level. So there's a lot of different tools that you can do that with. We're just going to take a look at DFIT. And I'm going to take this Texas declares independence from Mexico. And I don't have it saved. Well, actually it is there, but I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to do a copy and paste, but you can upload and attach a document as well. So in DFIT, it has a new look. It has more like an AI chat look. If you are familiar with Diffit, you can go back to the classic version at any time. I'm just going to use this chat version, and I'm going to say change the level of this passage to second grade for an ELL learner. And then I'm going to just paste the passage. Now it's thinking, and it's going to give us some questions. Now, if you need other support, you can kind of go through the questions and follow along with them. But I'm just going to skip all that and go straight to have it leveling, because that's all I want it to do right now. Now, if I wanted to read those questions and kind of see what it's offering, then we can go through that as well. So now it gives me a little bit of a level. So now as a teacher, I'm going to come through and read it. It also breaks it down into a little graph for me a little bit. So that's, then I can decide, is this what I wanted? If not, I can come back to the chat and ask for more. It does, Diffit has a lot of worksheets, and it creates like a lot of that for you as well. So if that's something you're interested in checking out, that would be Diffit. And there's so much more to that, but we're going to go on because we have a lot of different tools to cover today. Brisk Teaching is another one that is an Chrome extension and an Edge extension, and I have the link to both there. I am on Microsoft Edge right now. And if you notice, I have this little bee down here in the right-hand corner. This is my Brisk extension. Now, if it's yours isn't up, and once you add it, if you click on this little puzzle piece on the upper right-hand corner, these are where your extensions are held. And that's the same in pretty much in Edge and in Chrome. Here is my Brisk Teaching, and I do have it pinned. I don't have it pinned, so it's on my taskbar. Like the audio recording with Google, I have pinned, so I can see that all the time here. This one, if I want to pin it, I can pin it up here and see it if it's something I'm using a lot. So now what I want to do is I want to Brisk this passage because I want to change the level. I like Brisk a lot because it's just really simple. Here it's going to ask me what level I want to change it to, so I'm just going to choose second grade. It's assessing that this reading level is at the 12th grade level. So that's way too high for my 5th grade student that is struggling with reading, so I want it to be at second grade. And then you simply change the reading level. It also links to the original document. If you notice, it just gave me a whole new document. It didn't level it on the other one. It gave me a new document. And now I have the original one here I can always go back to, but it simplified it a little bit to make it easier for that student to read. So there are different tools you can use for leveling that text. So if the student is struggling, try out those tools. Now, I don't know if there's anybody here that needs to work on IEPs, but if you do, there are lots of AI tools that will help you that can start with the IEP. Now, of course, we want to be very careful with not including any personal information. You want to keep it, generic. Conmigo is an online AI tool. Magic School also would be able to do this. It has the different tools. You can sign in for your free account with Google. I'm going to come over to my teacher tools in Conmigo. And I did favorite some that I thought would be helpful for this course, for this session that we're doing today. It also has a leveler, so I can level the text. It has a chunk the text. Maybe I need to chunk it up to make it even smaller for the student. Or maybe I need clearer directions. Maybe I want a recommended assignment for the student. But this is the IEP assistance. And we're not going to go through the whole process of creating an IEP right now, but it asks some very simple questions. What's the learning environment like? And it gives you some suggestions. what's the disability, what's happening with the student that is needing an IEP, what are the challenges that are happening right now, and what are the strengths the student has. And then once we fill out these simple questions, we can start, and it will give us a whole IEP plan. So here was a plan. I answered those questions earlier with just some generic information, and it gave me a suggested IEP. Now, of course, we're the educators. We need to go through and read it, and you are now having this document that you can get kind of some ideas with, but you can come in and change it and make it your own for that student if you're needing help with that IEP. So like I said, Magic School would be another tool that would be very good. They have an IEP tool as well. So here's the Magic School one. I'm not going to go to that one, but it also has the text leveler. It has assignment scaffolder, so if you need to like scaffold the assignment to help the student understand, there's just lots of help out there for our students and for the teachers to prepare for teaching the students. Another tool, this is an oldie but goodie. This is called Summary. Here you basically are going to copy and paste your text into the site. Or you can upload a file, or you can use a new URL, and the site will summarize your content for you. So I'm going to just come here to summarize, because now maybe we're not leveling, but the student needs a summary of what's happening in that text. So I'm going to come over, I'm going to take my same Texas article, and I'm going to paste it. You can see, if you have the website, you can put the website here, or you can upload a document as well, or copy and paste. And then down here, there's a little bar. Do you want it to be very short summary? Do you want it kind of medium? Do you want it long? I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle here, and I'm going to click Summarize. Boom. We have a summary of that text. I can also get some bold essentials that kind of bolds what's important. I can get a bullet list. Maybe that student will help them just kind of, break it down a little bit better. If I just want one line, what's the summary, like one line summary for the passage, or I can even do a mind map. And any of these I can download and have them use that for the student. Or of course you can copy and paste the summary into a document as well. You just copy it, or we can download it. So that's kind of cool, just a quick, easy tool. These are tools I think, I haven't checked, but the student can probably do this themselves if it will allow them to go to the website. I did not practice this on a student account, but you can try that with them, and it might be something a tool they could use themselves. So that's summary.com. And then there's another one called Summarize Tech. This one is maybe more for a YouTube video. So if I go to Summarize Tech, and I want to go to a YouTube video, so I'm going to copy my URL for this YouTube video. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to paste that into this bar right here, and I'm going to submit it. And now it has summarized that YouTube video for me. Maybe a student needs help like reading instead of just listening. Maybe they're more, that's more of their learning style. So here it actually will summarize that video for you. And it kind of does it in 5-minute increments. So it shows you every 5 minutes what is happening in that video. So that is called Summarize Tech. Pretty cool. Voila. And it does it really fast. So just some extra tools that might help our students. Okay, moving on. I know I'm going kind of quick. You will have all the steps of this in the slides, so you'll have access to that. And in my first slide, I forgot to mention, it is linked to the actual slides that Janet did in her presentation. She had many more tools than what I'm showing you today, so that might be a helpful document for you as well. Okay, this one is getting into translating. Sometimes we have students that we need to translate to English or Spanish or vice versa, or maybe you have a student that has a different language. that you need to translate for. Well, there's a lot of AI out there that will help us with that now, but it is also built into Google Docs. You can translate documents right in the Google Doc and also in Microsoft Word. So if I'm in my Google Doc, get rid of my brisk, I can come up here to my tools and I can come down to translate the document. And then here I can choose a language. And you can see there are a lot of languages to choose from. So I know here in the Valley, we're mostly English and Spanish, but maybe we get a student from a different country that doesn't speak a lot of English or Spanish. You can come here and see if, there's a language that maybe would help. But I'm just going to translate this one into Spanish. Again, it opens up a new document, so it doesn't translate on your other document. And now you have a translated document. And basically in Microsoft Word, it's very similar. In Microsoft Word, you're going to come up here to your file menus and you're going to go to Review. Once you click on Review, you have this translate tool right here. And here you can translate just a section. If I had highlighted like this section, I only want this section translated, you can do that, or you can translate the whole document. So easy peasy for translation. Now, of course, you can also go to ChatGPT, Google Gemini, any of those AI tools and do a translation there as well. So there's lots of different avenues you could take. Now, this one I did not know about. This was translating your closed captions on YouTube. So you can actually go to a YouTube video that's in English and you can give it Spanish subtitles. So I know we can do that like on our TV, right? But you can do it right here in YouTube as well. And then there's some other settings that we're going to take a look at as well. So while we're in YouTube, we're also going to look at changing those closed captions and customizing them. You can change the color, you can change the font, the style, and all that. So we're going to go into our YouTube video. You can see I already have some closed captions on. So once we're in our YouTube video, down here at the bottom where we have the play button, if you go over to the right-hand side, you have your closed captions. So right now I had them turned on. So if you click on it, it turns them on or off, right? Depending on what you have. So that's easy enough to do. Now in our setting gear, which is right next to our closed caption, this is where I can change the subtitle language. So if I come up here to subtitles, I can go over and then of course change to a different language. It's on English. And if I want to change, I have all these languages again to choose from. Okay, I'm going to keep it on English for now, but you can see where you can change those options. Okay. Now we also have some other options where we can change the font family. We can change the color. Right now I have it on black. Maybe I want it on magenta. That might be easier for a student to see. Now that's harder for me to see, but maybe that's easier for that student. So you can kind of play around with the different colors. You can change the background color. Maybe I want it to be blue, okay, or yellow, whatever, works for that student. It can also change the opacity, the window color. You can change a lot of different things here. You can even change the font family. Right now it's on casual. You can change the different, you can change it to a different cursive. If you want cursive, that's probably harder to read, so it won't do that, but I'll keep it on casual for now. So it's simply that easy to change those captions. Now, what if you're have some students that are in the back of the room and they're having a hard time seeing this caption? Let me just play. Of course, it does your captions, right? Now, I can actually just click on this and drag it up to the top. So I thought, oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. So now those students that are in the back of the room, maybe it's a little bit easier for them to see these captions. So this might also be good for your learners that aren't so auditory that they're seeing the closed captions. Now, if you don't like the size, if it's too small, right now I'm just going to click on the plus sign on my keyboard and I can make it bigger. And if I want it smaller, then I just click on the minus. So I'm simply just clicking on the plus on the top number bar of my keyboard, and it makes those captions bigger or smaller. Pretty cool. I really liked that tool. All right, so that is YouTube. And we did the captions, and then this was just your hint of clicking the plus or the minus. So if you forget, how did you do that? You can come back and the directions are there for you. Okay, another tool that was pretty cool, if you want students to record or if you need to record, is a beepaudio.com. And you don't have to sign in for an account. All you have to do is click record if you want to use it. Now, Beep is also an extension, so you can get the extension and you can do it and record right in your Google Documents. If you want to just record something, like right now, it's automatically recording. I just clicked on that little record and it automatically records for me. Now it will convert what I did. And so if I need to copy this, and I can put this basically anywhere or share this with anybody. I could put it in a Teams chat and share this link. So if I do copy this link, and it doesn't want you to do the control copy, I can then paste it anywhere and then have someone listen to it. It will bring them to this link. Now, if I want to add a link in this is in a Google Doc, I added my Beep extension to the Chrome store, so I have it up here. I can click, and now I'm recording. Let me pause. I want to record, oh, this one's in Spanish, so you know what? I better not be doing the Spanish because that will not be, you will not like to hear me do Spanish. So I'm going to switch over to the English, click Beep. I'm going to read, on this day in 1836, Texas became a republic. It's going to record that message for me. Now I can actually link this link. I can copy it. And I can make this a hyperlink by clicking the link up here. And now the student can click here and listen to this voice note. So you could actually read the whole thing for the student, or maybe you want the students to read and then leave you the voice, their little voice thing and beep. So that's another little tool to help. Hopefully you can use some of these tools. Zip captions is for students that need to see the text written out. If you go to zip.com, basically you're going to click on this little microphone up here on the top right-hand corner. And now everything I say is going to come out on the screen. If you look down at the bottom, everything I'm saying is typed out. Now, of course, this is going to be for a more advanced learner because you can see it goes pretty fast and it doesn't really save everything you're saying. So this would be for maybe a learner that's a good reader. And of course, as you're teaching, maybe you're not talking as fast as I'm talking right now, but the student or the learner can see what you're saying. So just a quick little easy tool to maybe try out if it's something that might help somebody or a student or maybe a faculty member when you're doing a training or something. All right. The next one is the Chrome reading mode. So in the Chrome reading mode, it will actually read anything for you on a Chrome website or a Chrome. So here I am at a Chrome website and I just did like some Texas history. And if I want to come to the Chrome reading mode, hang on just a second. I'm going to come up here to my three little dots on the upper right-hand corner. And then I'm going to come to where it says More Tools. And when I click over here, I'm going to come to Reading Mode. So now it turns it kind of splits the screen and it gives me like a little reading mode And it's going to read, let me just highlight this part. And I have some tools up here. So it can just read automatic, right? Or I can speed it up if I need a slower or faster. So I can change the rate. There's some different tools here. You can try different voices. This just has some highlighting or word sentence spacing that you can play with. You also can play with the text size if you want to make it smaller or bigger. You can change the actual font if you want it in a different font. You can change the colors. Right now I have the blue background. I can change it to yellow. I can change it to black. So you just, whatever is best for the student, you can change that as you go. So that's kind of a cool tool on the reading part with the Google Chrome. And I know our time is going so fast and there's so many tools. So I'm going to go speed it up just a little bit. Okay. This one was also cool in the Chrome extension. So if I'm also in Chrome, this is a color veil. So I'm going to get rid of my reading mode. And I've added that extension right here. And notice, see how it changed like an overlay? Now, if I right click here, I can actually go to my options and I can change that color. So I can come in, maybe yellow is better for the student. So I can find out whatever color is better for that student. And then when I go to my little color overlay, it will change to that color. So that's just kind of a cool little extension I thought was pretty neat. And the directions are here on how to do that. Okay, and then there is Vocaroo. And it's another recording tool. I'm not going to go to this one. You simply click on the little microphone. It records for you. You save it, and then you can share it different ways. You can get a QR code, an embed code, a download code. So it's another way to record. And then we have an online voice recorder as well. This one, you simply click on the little microphone and say, now this one's a few more steps because this one you actually would have to download it to your Google Drive and then share it that way. So this is a few more steps on that one, but just lots of options out there. The custom cursor, I'm using it right now. You can see my cursor is green and maybe that's easier for you to see or not. I did add this extension. There's an Edge extension and a Chrome extension. Again, I can come over here to my custom cursor and there's lots of options. I can change it to Easter. And so now I have an Easter egg. So kids kind of like this because it maybe brings their attention. You can click the different cursors and you're able to get their attention a little bit more with the custom cursor. Okay, then we have the timers. Lots of timers. Most of these are on YouTube. If you need a timer for your students, you can just actually Google timers on YouTube and you'll have lots of timers. This one is the popcorn timer. And it's a 30-second timer. And I thought it was kind of cute. It pops the popcorn as it goes. I'm just going to go to the end here. And then it will go off at the end with a microwave sound. So just some different timers to try out with your students. These were lists that were supposed to be a little bit less sensitive, not so alarming. Some of the timers out there are kind of alarming to students. So this one might be a little bit more sensitive. And I know our time's about up, so I'm gonna stop now, but I just want to let you know that there are a lot of Google Chromebook accessibilities out there that you can put onto the students' Chromebooks. This is a guide, so you can click on that and see what all the different accessibilities are. And there's just some ideas there of what is offered. And then the last one that I'm going to go before we do our door prize raffle is Word Hippo. So Word Hippo, and I think I forgot to link this one. So I am going to link that for you before, I know I shared it, but I will go back in and link that real quick. Here is just another word for happy. You can get synonyms, right? And if I click find it, lots of words come out. So it's another tool for you to find, synonyms, antonyms, and here it's what you're asking for. Can I have opposites, rhymes, sentences, translation again here, lots of different choices. So I thought that was kind of cool and kind of fun at the word hippo. All right, I know that was fast and furious, and there's just so many different tools out there for us to try with our students and for us as teachers to help make things easier for our students. So hopefully you picked up something new today. Are there any questions? All right, I do want to thank you for coming.